look at the gradient. The gradient of a line is a measure of its slope. If it's a number that shows the steepness of a line, the greater the gradient, the steeper its slope. It's calculated by knowing how far a line rises within a certain horizontal distance, which is called the run. If it in fact falls, then we talk about it having a negative rise. So up is positive, down is negative. And this means that our gradient, and hence also our slope, is talked about as being a positive gradient or a positive slope if it's going up, and a negative gradient or a negative slope if it's going down. The gradient is equal to how far up it goes divided by how far across to the right it goes. The letter M is used to represent gradient. So here is an example of a line. We can see how far across it runs and how far up it goes. And the gradient is this distance here, the rise, divided by the run. So we get a gradient of a line. M is the rise over run. Let's look at an example. Let's consider the gradient of the interval joining A and B, the points 1, 2 and 9, 6, as you can see on this diagram off to the left. Because we're talking about the gradient, we're talking about the slope, the first thing to notice is it's going up. So my final answer is going to be positive. It has a positive gradient, a positive slope. It's going up. Now what we need to do is to look for the run. The run starts from the left-hand point and heads off to the right. And we also need to work out the rise. Now whether we have our triangle here or our triangle up here doesn't really matter. This would be our rise and this would be our run. There are advantages to both ways. When we have it like this, we can see that the rise is the number on top. So it's rise divided by the run. So let's consider the run. From 1 to 9 is 8 units. Counting the grids, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 8 across. And going up here, starting from here, 1, 2, 3, 4 up. So 8 across, 4 up. Now, to make our gradient, we know our gradient is the rise divided by the run. So that's going to be the rise over run is the gradient, 4 over 8, which gives us a half. So our gradient is a half. Every time it goes across 1, it goes half up each time. So across 1 unit, a half up. That's its rise over run. I can use the bigger numbers, 1 and 2. So it goes up 1, 2 across, up 1, 2 across, up 1, 2 across, and so on.